Minecraft ARGs have a reputation to be mysterious, horrifying, or just plain awful. But imagine finding a video so strange, so detailed, so disturbing that you can't decide whether it's just a passion project or the start of something greater. This is exactly where I found myself a couple of days ago when I came across a channel named Cutesh. The channel creator curates some amazing animations. The channel itself isn't inconspicuous in any shape or form until you look a little deeper. The community tab with a picture of what seems to be a desert temple being filmed on some form of VHS. Compressed and sent to so many people it's lost color and quality, with the caption, "I've seen it somewhere before." And when we zoom out, we find a video on the channel titled Minecraft VHS, and the uploader has even left a personal account of whatever it is we're about to watch.
Everything is so familiar, everything is so blurred, everything is in a fog. Where am I?
Leaving me with no other choice but to click. But before I do, here's a word from our sponsor, War Thunder, the ultimate free-to-play military action game that throws you straight into massive multiplayer battles across land, sea and air. If you can drive it, fly it or sail it, you can dominate with it. This game is huge. You've got tanks rumbling through cities, fighter jets ripping through the clouds and warships sinking enemies to the bottom of the ocean in dynamic battle locations all around the world. Every machine feels alive. The sound, the recoil, the armor, all modeled down to the smallest detail. And there's no health bar nonsense here. Every hit actually matters. You can take out a tank's track, absolutely decimate a jet midair, or even call a nuke and level the map. And just when you think it can't get any more intense, the new Task Force update has rolled around, adding the BM Oplot T tank, the Buck M3 missile system, and Hornet fighters. Plus, completely reworked classic maps like Poland and Eastern Europe. With graphics and physics newly improved, it feels like a full-blown war movie. So download War Thunder now, free on PC, PlayStation and Xbox, where if you're a new player or it's been 6 months since you last played, you'll get 100,000 Silver Lion, the Eagle of Valor and more. And don't miss War Thunder Mobile, now on iOS and Android, putting epic battles right in your pocket, using the link below. The video opens with a generating level sequence, one that you and I have seen far too many times, although the loading text isn't as familiar. Simulating world for a bit. Whoa, did you see that? Generating memories. The loading bar? Hello? The video quickly cuts in the same way it feels to wake up to the sensation of falling, a silent screen, before whoever we're watching looks up, slowly. Whoever we're watching immediately starts walking, and what seems like the shape of a pig ever so slowly comes out of the fog, joined by a wooden house. Torches. This feels like a playset. The music here is tasteful, eerie. Someone has taken time to really make it. As I get distracted over the music, whoever we're watching makes their way around the house, where another pig frozen in time can be spotted. What seems like a tree standing next to what seems like a bedrock pillar. Is that a pig on the tree? The camera turns to the left, blacking out only to reappear in front of a shaven sheep. Wait, shaven? Is someone else here with us too? The music here isn't playing, and whoever's holding this camcorder only gets closer to the sheep. It's here I realized the shadow of an actual human can be seen on the ground, almost as if this was some sort of film set. Maybe it was, only for the music to begin playing again. This time it's familiar. Playing out of none other than a vinyl record player sitting atop a jukebox. The irony. They get closer, only for the music to become clearer. Why did the music stop? Something feels off here. The screen blacks out. The music from the opening of this video seems to start playing again, coming back in to only something younger you would have tried. A glowstone portal with one block of water, one of your first Minecraft myths you would have ever debunked. A reference to the Aether mod, a mod released midway through beta Minecraft. Yet the video cuts to him closer to the portal. The blocks looked awfully like cardboard. Had someone here whoever was holding this camcorder broken into a movie set. Minecraft 2? The camera slowly turns to the left, revealing a different type of portal, one that a seasoned Minecraft player is awfully familiar with, the Twilight Forest, a mod shortly popular after the initial release of Minecraft. Was this some form of timeline? They get closer, inspecting the water, if you would even call it that. Then the screen flashes black again. Weird sounds can be heard in the distance. But wait a minute. Is that supposed to be... Is that another pillar? The video cuts again, but more in the fashion of someone blinking. What is that? A 3-block high cobblestone pillar with a clock. Sorry, is that wire? What is it connected to? Where does it lead? And why is this cameraman just standing here, staring at whatever this thing is supposed to be? What was that? Whoever's controlling this camcorder zooms into the cable laying on the ground, and suddenly, what sounds like Morse code or a fax machine can be heard. Only for it to stop and the sound of a machine to take over. A sheep frozen in time again can be seen, and the wire on the floor continues to trail. I wondered what this was connected to. Whatever it was, our cameraman traces the wire with the camera, following it slowly. What was behind this? Was this implying that something sinister was around? A flashlight, or as the British say, a torch turns on. Wherever our cameraman is now, it's dark, it's eerie, and the airy sound of whatever machine is out there plays softly. What in the world is this place? A sheep can then be seen once more in the distance, then another, as the rest of the world remains awfully green and foggy. Was someone here asleep? This almost felt like some sort of dream. Counting sheep? Was I reaching too far here? Our cameraman turns around to reveal the same line of wires running along the floor. Was he in the same spot, just now at night? Or were the studio lights now off? The screen blacks out and cuts again. Wait, is that a nether reactor? The same nether reactor I had once too, built in Pocket Edition. I haven't seen this thing since I was like 12. And clearly the cameraman was in shock too, pausing. To me, the suspected wires seemed like a marked out trail, through some sort of nostalgic timeline. Only for it to end? What is that? It really does seem like cables going elsewhere. The cameraman lifts his head, redirecting the camera forward. What is that? Bro! As the cameraman swings his flashlight, he reveals through his spotlight the entrance of a desert temple, this time to human scale. As they take their time observing the temple, they circle back to the left side, only to reveal scaffolding? This truly felt like a movie set of nostalgia. The cameraman gets closer. With my curiosity, I wanted him to spring right inside of it. But I watched on, only for him to observe from a distance, taking it in for what it is until he's entered the desert temple alone, with the scaffolding we'd seen outside continues inside on the ceiling above. Music begins to play. As they push their way through this desert temple, a Herobrine summoning shrine has been placed between desert temple pillars. Here, he pauses, only for the sound of stuttering static to take over. Yet they keep moving forwards. Paintings, more noticeable and recognizable. The fighters spotted hiding behind a blanket, The very obvious pig scene, the Tom Zetterstrand Scone fire painting, the Graham uncovering the match painting along with the mortal coil. It seemed as if this desert temple was being used as some sort of storage. And then, the most interesting part of this entire video, what seemed like enchanting language engraved on the very walls of this desert temple laid high up against the ceiling. It's incredibly hard to tell what it says, and before having a real chance of looking at it, the video cuts again, finding ourselves back outside, where the odd exploration continues. Looking closely on the side of the desert temple, I noticed more scaffolding. Yet the minute the audio changed, it almost seemed as if whoever was behind the camcorder had completely forgotten about the desert temple. The same old sound we had heard before the world had gone dark plays again, bringing the world back to life, almost as if a generator had just kicked back into power. With the sounds of sheep yelling in the distance, echoing. It seemed to me that we were back at the house we had previously seen in the beginning, now completely destroyed. Yet a wolf remains, an old friend, frozen in time, just like everything else here. The music we know all too well begins to play again, and the sense of stillness is almost peaceful. Yet we're not allowed to stay. With the video cutting, finding ourselves at the bottom of a stone staircase. The video then does something it hadn't done before. It fades to the sighting of a skeleton frozen in what looks like a cave. A pumpkin can be seen only for the video to skip ahead again, this time to the inside of a deeper cave with, wait, hold on, are those lockers? Before I could take a proper look, the video fades to familiarity. There, in front of whoever in the world was recording, sat an all too familiar diamond block house. One that I'm sure you've built too. Almost the rite of passage to becoming a true Minecraft player. So nostalgic, yet the video feels so cold. Will they go inside? The video fades instead. Revealing a farm, organized so neatly, almost as if it were expecting someone. This looked familiar, but I couldn't quite place my finger on why. But the video falls black again, only to pick right back up in what seems to be a plains biome, with a hill. Where are they walking to? The music keeps us company, the same music I had heard in the beginning of the video. This too gave a feeling of familiarity and the sense of a memory. Almost like I had also been here too. Until the screen again repeats its pattern, only for the cameraman to be somewhere else, slowly panning upwards, revealing the Farlands, sitting peacefully in the faded VHS footage. What did any of this mean? Why was there bedrock scattered on the ground? All of this felt like a dream. And the video rolls back and ends here. Whoa. It's clear that this entire video is some sort of artistic tribute to a nostalgic Minecraft, And despite the fact the other videos on this channel also offer some sort of ode to something, they also lean into liminality, liminal spaces, with all of them practically sharing this in common with one another. And even with this being so obvious, I couldn't shake the feeling there was more to it than just tribute or atmosphere. To me, this wasn't just a tour through mods or myths. It stood out to me as a timeline of emotions, to the point where you can almost trace the creator's own memories through the builds, in the way each space lingers for just a second too long, with the farlands at the very end of the video being the perfect example, the unreachable, broken edge of the Minecraft world, feeling like a metaphor for how nostalgia works. The further you try to go back, the more the world itself starts to distort. Looking closer, it started to feel like this wasn't just a collection of nostalgic references, but a story told through them, one where every familiar thing was slightly off, slightly wrong, like walking through your old childhood world save, only to find things moved, changed, frozen in time and out of place. Nostalgia here didn't just make me remember, it made me question. Was this world showing us a memory or the loss of one? Or perhaps even a dream? That's what pulled me deeper here. The video felt like a message disguised as nostalgia, as with every structure and even the pieces of music felt like they were hinting at something beneath the surface. And it didn't feel accidental, it felt constructed. And so with that thought in mind, I started to dig, not just through the visuals, but outside of the video once more, searching for anything that might prove there was more to this than just art. Finding myself looking back at the YouTube description, where it contained enchanting language translating out to the words, "I'm tired." But could this still be art, since the enchanting language in the description had proved itself to only add more to the immersion, making it even more of a passion project, as the cobblestone tower, with what I believe to be Morse code, in fact only came out to a pure sound effect, seeming to back up the passion project possibility. But this didn't just seem like art to me anymore. Something more was here, and whether it had gone unfinished or perhaps unnoticed was still a mystery, as even the enchanting language on the dark desert temple walls was almost undecipherable, not to mention the actual human shadow that I had picked up on. I wasn't happy to settle on a conclusion yet, and when searching up the creator, I decided to add them on Discord, where I waited, and 2 days later, my friend request was accepted, where almost immediately, I sent them a message, writing, "Hey Cutesh, thank you for accepting my friend request. I have a question about your Minecraft VHS video. Is this an ARG or just some art piece? I noticed hidden messages in the description. Any hint is appreciated. Thank you." And then I waited some more, and 2 hours later, I received 2 soundtracks, and not a single word. The first was the C418 Sweden remake we had heard in the video, playing from the strange record player. There didn't seem to be any clues here, but I was happy to hear it in full. What stood out though was how different it felt from the original. The remake is slower here, dreamier, almost like it's echoing through old stadium speakers, giving off that hollow, surreal vibe that lingers in your head. It still has the same peaceful DNA as C418's classic Sweden, but here it leans eerie, hazy and unsettling, perfectly matching the dreamlike atmosphere of the VHS world we had just watched. And that slight shift in tone makes you question whether you're supposed to feel nostalgic or uneasy. Regardless, I moved on to the next soundtrack, titled Minecraft Shuttered Dreams Ending. This sounded like the soundtrack we had already heard towards the end of the video. Listening to it closely, it starts off fitting that same drifting, dreamlike mood, but then it changes. It builds into something much more upbeat, into something we hadn't heard before, almost out of place with the visuals we'd seen. Heavy synths drive it forward with an energy that feels almost a bit 80s, synthwave, rather than Minecraft ambience. It's strange because Minecraft music is no stranger to synth, but this felt intentionally different, like a sudden tonal shift designed to jar you out of the comfort of, well, nostalgia, hinting that maybe this whole project was never meant to feel safe in the first place. But something felt off to me about how I was just given 2 of the video soundtracks and no actual message afterwards. And so I did what anyone else in my position would do at this point. I shared what I had with some friends, starting with, well, showing them the full video and, of course, collecting their reactions.
Who hit that sheep or sheared that sheep? I see a shadow of a person, which is interesting.
Oh my god, you can see the shadow. Dude, it's like someone, it's like a person like actually walking around in the world.
Okay, so we hear the sound is diegetic, actually. It's coming from this jukebox that actually has a turntable on it, okay.
This is where you get jumped.
This is really cool.
The Aether Portal.
Oh, there's an Aether Portal. Okay.
Unfortunately, still a disappointment even in this version. Well, maybe it works. We'll see.
Someone tried to light it up. They realized it didn't work.
What is this? This seems like a familiar shape, actually, with the flowers.
Okay, another cut. Oh, I see something to the right. Is that a black sheep? No. What is that? I think that's the Nether Reactor. I didn't really play Pocket Edition. I think that's what that is, though.
Oh, another reactor core. Also a classic. Kids these days don't even know what that is.
Oh my god. It's another summoning shrine. Forgot what that was for.
Is that a seatbelt? What is that?
What is that? Is that like a... I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, what am I looking at?
Okay, there's some structure up there. It looks like a pretty big one. Oh, is that a desert temple? Yeah, okay. Which is strange, right? That shouldn't exist here, because it seems like we're in a plains biome, right? Or something with grass everywhere.
Now they're at a desert pyramid. What is that on there? Looks like something's on it.
That is weird. It looks like someone's just constructing a set.
Yeah, see, it's like there's scaffolding up there.
That is, dude, yeah, it just looks like it's being made. Nah, bro. Like, how does this happen? How does somebody get in this situation? Yeah, the block proportions are off as well. It feels like someone just made this.
Dude, are those are paintings? Oh yeah, they are.
Ooh, that's cool. That's unsettling, right? How these paintings are like off the wall. Yeah, that's cool. That's a cool environment.
Oh my god, and like... So, dude, they look so realistic. That's so weird. Uh-oh, there's words. It looks like some type of, translation on there.
What is that? Is that writing? The symbols?
Oh, cut again. It kind of looked like there were hieroglyphics or something on the top of the wall. Didn't get a good look at it, though. So is this the original house that we started at? I'm trying to remember. Whatever it is, it's, falling apart.
Oh, I know that. That's the...
Is that the house that we saw at the beginning with the door? Or is that a different house? I don't know.
Am I going crazy, or does that not look like the tutorial world, house? I don't know. Maybe.
Wait, I didn't even realize that. Is it?
I don't know. It almost does, but
I just thought it was the house from the beginning.
It doesn't look like the same house. There's no door here.
Oh, it's so creepy the way it doesn't move at all. House made of diamonds.
Diamond House. This almost feels like it's showing off nostalgia. This is like some type of nostalgia. Everything that they're showing is like something of that was popular in the past. Yeah, see this. Yeah, this is literally the spawn. I think that house was from the tutorial world.
And now we're starting to see some fades. So we're not seeing these sharp cuts that we were seeing earlier. So it's sort of changing the way that this is edited. So are those stones up there? Oh, looks like we got the Farlands.
And the bedrock on the ground, or whatever that is. How did we get to the Farlands?
Yeah, okay. So we've sort of been taking this journey. Apparently now we're getting there. Sun peeking out over the edge. Wow, that was super cool. It did not feel like 10 minutes. I thought it was paced really well,
Dude, I've literally never seen anything like that, ever. Where did you find this?
It was here after sharing the full video. Naturally, everyone had questions, and most of all, I had one for all of them. Okay, so now be honest, you don't have to say anything random for the video. Do you think that this video that I just kind of showed you guys is an ARG or lead up to one, or maybe just art?
In isolation, it feels like one of those slideshow videos with the liminal Minecraft spaces, but I could see it being part of a larger story. I just need the context of where it was found. This could easily be an arc where somebody explores something as part of a story, but it could just be an insane piece of art.
I mean, I think the line is pretty blurry, so I didn't see any sort of obvious okay, this is a code, right? Which typically I would see in a lot of ARGs, but not in all of them, right? And it could be more of a web series type thing.
If I had to predict, I would have to say this is probably leaning more towards art.
Gotcha. Thanks, guys. Render, Wi-Fi's, and Retro all had amazing points. and knowing I had friends that would be able to pick up on the same things as me, alongside pointing out other potential clues I'd missed, left me even more intrigued by these two soundtracks. To me, my gut was telling me there was something more here, as I'd remembered the old route ARG, where someone had hidden a code inside of an image. Now, this would be different clearly, as this was audio, but I still clicked into the properties hoping to find something. I made sure to scour and really take time here, with C418's remake having nothing to show. There's probably nothing here. Maybe this was all art after all. Maybe Cutesh was just showing me the individual parts of it. I moved on to the next, clicking on the Shuttered Dreams soundtrack, opening the properties to, again, nothing. Wait, what was that? Down right at the very bottom of the properties section, completely underneath the origin subsection in the author URL, laid an imager link, revealing 6 images that at first all looked straight out of the video, with the first image being what looked like the backrooms, with Minecraft grass blocks and an Aether portal. Then, the same unlit Herobrine shrine from the desert temple, followed by the shaven sheep and the clearest human shadow ever, only to go back to the paintings sitting in the desert temple. Then, the desert temple itself that we'd seen in the YouTube community tab. And finally, an image of the enchanting language scratched on the desert temple's ceiling, this time entirely visible, allowing me to translate it to the words, "Everyone will die anyway." My gut had been right. It seemed to me a story from the video was already being told. Now it was growing, shaping up. The only problem was how much of a story was really here, and how much of this was purely abstract art. Happy with this new discovery and wanting to show it to Wi-Fi's and Render, I downloaded the images. Not thinking at all, only to realize each image had a single letter. I grabbed a piece of paper, putting them together and really playing my own version of super easy Wordle, where I got the word quiet. Okay, weird. Leaving the 6th image with the number 1. I couldn't tell if this was a random number, but I noted it down and moved it to the side, because if the audios had something hiding in their properties, did this too? I started going through them all. Image 1. Nope. Image 2. Wait, no, never mind. Image 3. Wait, what is that? In the same properties section as the soundtracks, half of some sort of link was pasted. This felt a little too easy, but nevertheless, I grabbed my piece of paper and wrote it down. Moving on to image 4, where I was out of luck here. And then image 5. I scrolled down to the author URL again, only to see nothing, blank, until I scrolled up and noticed what seemed like another link pasted in a different properties section. But this link was far too long. Now, I needed to figure out what the link belonged to.
Now, I'll be honest, at this point, it was super late, and so I did kind of what you do when you forget that you have homework, which is ask the smart kid, and just kind of hope that everything works out.
The link sent me to a mega folder. Now, don't get me wrong, mega folders are a common thing in ARGs, so I wasn't necessarily surprised by this, as they're usually used as digital lockboxes. Still, there was something about this one that felt intentional in a way I couldn't ignore. Up until now, everything had lived safely inside YouTube, but this link had changed that. For a moment, I hovered on the page, wondering if I should even open it. It's one thing to analyze a video, and it's another to step into its world. Whatever this was, it wasn't just a clue anymore. It was an invitation, with this time videos. The first seeming like almost some sort of nursery, a small version of the foggy world we had seen. Perhaps even a behind the scenes of what we had seen in the video, where a pig and a wooden house stood frozen in time, waiting for a spectator. Putting it side by side to the foggy video, it's hard to tell, but it's awfully close. From here, even after downloading the video and checking its video properties, nothing was there, leading me to clicking onto the next video, where no sound, no effects, just a simple zoom on a scratchy sketch of Herobrine's summoning shrine, with scribbles of the enchanting language surrounding it, was presented on video. What did this mean? It seemed as if Herobrine was sketched on the right hand side, with arrows pointing to different parts of the shrine, with the arrows looking extremely close to the wires we had seen on the ground. I started translating the sketch immediately, with the first word on the top left hand side translating to secret, then on the right hand side translating to hidden in plain, and on the bottom left hand corner translating to sight, completing the sentence and giving us hidden in plain sight. Was this simply referring to the fact the Herobrine shrine was hiding inside of the desert pyramid? It sure felt like it. And now, with all these new clues, the story here was finally solidifying more and more. Whoever we were watching was walking through some form of dream, hence the generating memory screen in the terrain generation, and the way the video began and ended. Not to mention the interruptive cuts, jumping from memory to memory, all being nostalgic whilst making no real sense, just like a dream. That being said, with all of these clues, it felt like I'd arrived at a dead end, or the unfinished stage of this ARG, leading me to the question that started this video from the very beginning. Was this actually an ARG or just some passion project? In the end, maybe that's the beauty of it. This wasn't some sprawling ARG waiting to be solved, and it wasn't just another nostalgic or liminal Minecraft project either. It was something in between, unfinished, unsettling, and strangely beautiful. A fragment that leaves you wondering what could have been, and maybe that mystery is all it ever needed to be. An ARG that never happened, and an artful atmospheric video to simply look back on.